Welcome as we continue our study in Colossians 4, verse 6. Let your word always be with grace, having been seasoned with salt, to know how you ought to answer each one. Word is logos. We've seen this plenty of times before. Just a reminder, while it is a general word for word, it really just means essence of. So it does imply some form of understanding or intelligence on a subject. Um, Then grace is charis. It's one of my favorite words, and it really means unmerited favor. And it gets defined a bunch of different ways, but ultimately that's really what it's talking about: is unmerited, unearned favor. It's in opposition to ergon, which is work. So they mean the opposite of each other. So God gives us grace, therefore there can't be any work involved in it. And it's saying that you should always have to always let your word be with grace. So there always should be favor, unearned, unmerited favor in your word. Having been seasoned with salt. So seasoned with salt, seasoned is a turo. It's basically how you prepare something to make it savory. But then, so you have this sort of receptive flavor part to this. But then salt also has not just how it affects the flavor. Salt is also used as a preservative. You would use salt to you'd season meat with salt to make it last. And so therefore it has two parts. One is that it adds flavor, and the second is that it also is something that's it's lasting. Um, to know how you ought to speak. So know, that is Edo, which really means to perceive with the eyes. So it's to see and understand. The emphasis for this one is on seeing, um, versus there's some other words that mean to perceive and know. So the inference is more on the knowing part of the brain part. Um, but again, this is sort of so that you should see and know how you should respond. Ought is dia, and it is what is necessary, behooves, right and proper. You could translate it as ought, or you could say um, so that you would know um, what is how it is necessary for you to respond. It would be another way you might want to say that. But ought is sufficient as well. And then answer is apokrine, sorry, apokrino or apocrinomai. Um, and it comes from apo, which is from, and then crino, which is, oh, I'm going to look it up over here. So since I'm stumbling on my words a little bit, crino is it's really to discern, but to conclude or maybe punish, ordain, or to think. I would say really discern is probably where I would go with Crino. To discern from. Um, and so therefore, when you put those together, it is one of those 1 + 1 = 3 in Greek. It means to answer or return an answer. Um, but I think the important thing there is that it is not just to answer, but and it's really knowing how you should answer. And so we have a few things here. Looking at the context of 5, it's really talking about that you are making good decisions when it comes to those that are not Christians and how you interact with them, and that you are investing time to help convert them effectively. That you should show them grace, and that you would teach them with words that are not just good and flavorful for them, but also lasting. And that you could always, you would, again, with the wisdom part, you would know Scripture well enough, and having applied it yourself, that you would know exactly how to answer their questions.